All right, what's going on? So I'm back again. I wanted to do this last week, but I just rested. So this is for something that I'm looking at later on. You can plainly see. You can probably tell what's going on. But this video is about right now. It's about Mario Kart World being Sonic Crossroads. So if you didn't know Mario Kart World and the Wii 2 has been sold out for weeks. Oh, not the Wii 2, the Switch 2, sorry. And if that surprised you, no, it didn't. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you thought the Switch 2 was gonna sell out, you're kidding yourself. People were trying to boycott the Switch 2, and it sold out within minutes. Within minutes, it was not even a full hour before it sold out. And that's why I keep telling people they are trying to they really think Sonic fans and people like that really think that Sonic can easily become on number one, beat something. It haven't. That's what you don't get. You're trying to push something and say something is going to happen your way, and it's not. It keep not like you. Oh well, you might get one out of 100 correct a year. Congratulations, you got one a year. But that doesn't mean you're correct. When you look at the data, when you look at actual facts, you'll see why you're wrong. So, Switch 2 pre-orders came out last week. Look at what it said. Pre-orders sold out at most retail, including GameStop, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and others. The game was sold out within minutes everywhere. Now there are people saying that it was a bunch of scalpers and blah 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 and all that. But here's the thing: your address on their system limits how many things you can order. It's not. It's no longer you get your account on the site. It's now the address. You're using the address and people information. And if they get multiple orders from the same address, it gets flagged. So they are doing other ways to limit you on your site. They're limiting your account. They're limiting how many orders you can do on the site. They're limiting how many orders you can do with the same address. They're doing everything to limit as much as possible. So people are saying scalpers did it. It wasn't scalper. It was just a bunch of people who literally pre-ordered it. Overwhelming demand. Overwhelming demand. And people was like, if you didn't know, again, I always go back to this. It's too. I was just. This is hilarious. People were saying boycott Nintendo Switch 2, all of this. Like, same people boycott it. Say again, same haters. Say boycott Switch 2, backlash overpriced game. It sold out at me. Boycott Switch 2. How did the pre-order fare when it sold out? Nintendo betrayed the players were betrayed? No, they were not. Again, no matter how you look at it, game prices are cheaper now. Nintendo is just trying to balance it out by going up a slight bit. But guess what? It's not gonna be too much. Like it's so funny how so many people was like, we should boycott the Switch too. It failed immediately. People are trying to do these hyperbolic chamber kind of shit, trying to like, well, we're rushing, you're trying to rush everything to get done, and then it's on the back end, it end up selling out to like, but you would know it sell out if you look at the game sales that has been going on. It didn't kill the hype. It sold out immediately. If you look at the back end, you will see how much the game was gonna sell. Right? Mario games on the Switch 2 has been selling 15, 20. Even on the low end, the new Mario Brothers Brotherhood, even that sold at least 5 million copies. They try. People are doing this kind of stuff. Stop doing that kind of stuff. You're making it insatiable, and you're just doing stuff to make people ravenous and try to get them on side. People are not gonna listen to you. Like you don't get it when you do stuff like this. You're end up proving that you have no credibility. Like it's the same kind of stuff. Like I guarantee you, you know what they do? You know what they do? They either delete the video or act like they never said anything about it. Like scam everything. Like you see this stuff and you don't understand it. Like people are like, do you understand how much gamer back down? Blah blah blah. This person changed the title again. Look, 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 look. And like, no, it wasn't the pre-order wasn't delayed. It was went out on schedule. Fish 2 already filed. What are you talking about? It's sold out. This is what I'm telling you. Look at what they're doing. They're rushing, jumping on a station, trying to make this big woo scary stuff. And then what do people do? Nintendo Switch 2 is a complete scam. It already sold out. Again, you see the pattern. You don't know the pattern. If you don't know it's the pattern, something's wrong. It's the same people. Majority of the time, it's the same people. They're just trying to have new people who try to jump in, and it end up backlashing. Like the Switch 2, they wanted you to boycott it, and what happened? It sold out within minutes. How's that boycott going, chumps? Yeah, yeah. Again, I see it's coming because they are trying to cause you to be insatiable. They are trying to say They're trying to say, you know, if you do what we say, things will be better for you. But in reality, nobody is following what they're saying. That's why it's sold out immediately, like within minutes. Like it was from a lot of places I saw, the game sold out within hour, less than an hour. But you see stuff like this, and you think, oh, it must be a lie. And now people are saying, no, 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 it was a bunch of bots and scalpers and stuff. Not really. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. It wasn't. But here's the thing. At the same time, Mario Kart World, which was put on pre-order at the same time, also already saw. The Switch 2 sold out. Mario Kart World also sold out. Now, what the reason it's sold out? Cause it's two reasons. One, people who was trying to get the bundle with Mario Kart World just ordered it for the extra $50. They just got both of them together, right? For the extra $50. That's fine. That's understandable. But then again, it also sold out as a standalone. So while the stock for it sell out as a bundle went fast, it also saw a standalone. So people was ordering both the console and the game separate because all of the bundle was sold out. So they quickly ordered both games separate and still sold out there. So while some sites might have bundles equal up to the number of games, basically if the console had more, if there was more console, you and less actual the next has a Mario Kart game, the game they will have limited number of bundle based on the game itself. But if the game had more, then the console they have limited number of bundles with the console itself. With the console, depending on which one it came in lower, there are places that will do if one or the other, whatever one is lowest, that's the number of pre-order bundles they will have. Then there was places where there was pre-order bundles set up for just the console and the game together, and then there was separate bundles set up for just the console and the game separate. So whichever one they did, they both of them still sold out, and that's what I keep telling you. You see the same again, again. I'm going over. You see the same thing over from the same people that make crazy stuff talking about they're gonna boycott the Switch 2, right? And it's sold out within minutes, right? And it's the same people who hate on anything they don't like and talk about all. It's the same people who make stuff about movies that they don't like, and then the movies sell big. Again, this is one of them. I'm gonna try to not play any of his video because this dude's just terrible. Like his takes keep being bad. Like he said, Dragon Virgo flop. It was a massive hit. Now you talk about a lawsuit. Yeah, Nintendo's always getting in lawsuits, and yet they're still winning. Dude, no, no, dog. You're just terrible. You're just terrible. Like you see, they're making the games over. They're making videos about all of this, and guess what happens? The game and stuff. He haven't been right about a single one of these things so far. Not a single one. Now, here's the thing: the crew. We never talk about the crew. The crew was already out for years, right? And barely anybody was playing them. So they shut down the servers because barely anybody was playing. But the game was still a success. Why? The reason they had the servers up for 10 years is because it sold enough copies. But at the end, it just wasn't enough play to keep going. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. We already seen that the game sold over 2 million copies on Steam alone. But people are like, well, the player count, the player count, the player counts. It's a single player game. You can play it offline. You don't have to be connected to your Steam account to play it, as long as it's downloaded onto your system. Guess what? Uh, uh, Assassin's Creed Shadows already hit, and that's what I was going to bring up later on. Look at it. It beat Monster Hunter World Wilds in March. So I'm gonna bring that up later on. I can go down every single one of these videos, other than stuff like this, which I haven't looked into and I really don't. Not a single thing they say on here has been correct. Not a single one. Like this is another person. He was like, oh well, this that happened and this was leaked and stuff. Find out who's leaked was total bullshit. And then he got called out and it's like, yeah, well, people make mistakes. No, you constantly make mistakes. And then you wonder why nobody's taking your word on anything. But I have to keep telling people the number of games you sell on Steam end up being 10 to 25% of the total number of games sold overall. So what you see on Steam as far as players and everything, you have to understand how to do the math. So player count on Steam. Did you know that's not the total number of players for that day, but the total number of players at that hour and so on. So if in I'm not even gonna do 24 hours, say in 12 hours, you see 40 million players and it could start going up and then stay there. There are players who could get on the game, play the game for like an hour, then get off. So on average, even if I put it 3 hours, you take that 40 million, then you time it by four for the 12 hours. So if it's 40 million, it's probably over 120, probably over 180. It can be as high as 160. It's somewhere there where the total number of players for that day is more than 3, 4, 5 times the number of players you see on at any given time. So when you look at a player amount, that doesn't mean it. Now, if it's a game like Monster Hunter Wild, where it has to be online to play it, because again, it's a multiplayer game and it's a MO, it's a multiplayer online game. You have to be online. That's the total number of players that on at time. At that time, online, because you have to be connected online to play the game. Single player games, you don't have to be connected online to play the game. So when I saw Sonic Crossroad was coming out and they're planning to come out, I'm telling you right now, don't put Sonic Racing Crossroad. Oh, did I say Crossworld? I thought I put Crossroad. Don't put them near each other, because if you do that, I did here. I don't know why I didn't do it here. If you do that, side is gonna just straight up get cooked. And then I found out this. Oops. April. What? Right? Oh shoot. Hold on.